you would have heard him condemn anti-Semitism. And I have his exact quote from the first time he was asked this question. He said, "I want peace in this country. I want to stop crime and long simmering racism." That sounds like a condemnation to me. But some people on the left are using the veil of anti-Semitism and the charge of anti-Semitism to further their own political causes. It's dangerous. I agree with Alan Dershowitz fully that we should not be loosely throwing this term around. And I've got to ask you straight on, so you think the president does not like Jews and is prejudiced against Jews? You think that about the president of the United States?
You bet. And do you know why? And wow is right, Kayleigh. Do you know why?
Does he hate his daughter? Does he hate his son?
You know what, Kayleigh? I am tired of commentators like you from the right trotting out his daughter, trotting out his son-in-law as talking points against the president's anti-Semitism. They are Jewish, but that is not a talking point against anti-Semitism, and that is a disgrace.
Let's dissect your statement.
Have you no ethics than to invoke people's religion as a talking point?
Let's make this a dialogue.
That itself is anti-Semitic.
Let's make this a dialogue instead of a monologue. Do you think the president dislikes his daughter?
Okay.
Answer the question. Answer, because you said he doesn't like Jews and his daughter's
I'm under no obligation to answer a curveball question.
Because you can't answer the question.
Because it's a nonsensical question based on nothing.
You know, when he's asked the question, he goes off for 20 seconds about his electoral college victory. Then he mentions racism. Later on, he does say, "As for the Jewish people, I have a daughter." Does that do it for you?
Yes. Stopping crime and long simmering racism sounds like a condemnation. And Mr. Goldstein could not answer.
No, you can't answer the question as to why. You're right, because he talked about the electoral college.
Stephen, let me finish.
Thank you, Kayleigh.
There is a flaw in your logical reasoning. You told me the first thing you said is the president dislikes Jews. The second thing you said when I asked, does he dislike his daughter? You said, I don't have to answer that question.
That's very nice.
There's a flaw
That's very
in your
nice
reasoning.
for Breitbart News, but not for CNN. You are using fake news arguments. Shame on you.
You are using
because you just didn't watch what was on there. He responded about the electoral college.
Isn't it true, though, Kayleigh? I mean, putting aside just your immediate discussion here, but it is true that when someone is close to somebody, they can see them differently as they see others. They can see others as another, and they can see a person, well, you are this, but it doesn't matter. When it comes, I mean, if you look at what happens throughout history, that's certainly been true with anti-Semitism and many other things.
Well, he stood next to the Prime Minister of Israel, who said, I've known this man my whole life, essentially, Donald Trump, and he is the greatest defender of the Jewish people I know. And I think it's very sad that we have liberal commentators, Steve in particular, who is using charges, vile charges, like anti-Semitism and racism, with no evidence behind it.
Kayleigh's right.
So this is Kayleigh McEnany taking on this woke guest who hates Donald Trump, apparently, and thinks he is calling him anti-Semitic. And she does an amazing job defending him and debunking this crazy accusation, citing examples of, his family members are Jewish. He said X, Y, Z, supporting the Jewish community, supporting Israel. I mean, this is just one of the most out of left field things to say about Trump, right? And of course, this was a few years ago. This was not current. But even everything Trump is saying right now debunks this about Israel. He's coming out in support very vocally of Israel, the Jewish people. And I mean, I think one of the last things Donald Trump is an anti-Semite. But this is just an example of what the mainstream media tried to do the entire time that he was president, which is throw everything at him and see what stuck. Pretty quickly, that got old, and that didn't really, when it didn't work, they just kept trying it. They tried to call him a racist, xenophobic, anti-Semitic, a misogynist, every trick in the book, and none of it stuck. And us, ordinary Americans, we got exhausted of it, and we saw right through it immediately. And I think the fact that it didn't work shows what Donald Trump's really made of. Right? He's not somebody that's just going to fold to media pressure. There's so many people, there's so many politicians that if the media starts saying bad things about them, they collapse and they do whatever is going to be safe for them and their reputation. Donald Trump never did that. He always said what he meant and did what he was going to do in spite of the media and whatever their messaging was, whatever they were accusing him of that week. He didn't care. He didn't let it affect him. So anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this flashback clip in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.